And we are live for tonight's Windy City Hockey Live with a couple topics to talk about today. And as you can see right here, those are the topics. It involves players today. Let's wait until some people hop in the stream and then we will get everything going. Let me post a link up on Twitter and Discord. We yeah. I'm doing something. All right. Yep, we're live and now gotta waiting for comments and waiting for the link to post on Twitter while now getting everything posted on Discord. There we go. Hey Brian, how are you? I did see the prospect camp roster was announced today, hence why right here I have Ethan Del Mastro kind of on here also. Should be a fun prospect tournament, 2-game tournament against the Hawks and Wild prospects. I expect the Hawks to have a better tournament because it's on their ice of Fifth Third Arena. Hey Hawkthorne, how are you? Don't know if you guys saw, I did have a new video post yesterday, and it was a lot of fun. It was a little bit different than my normal type of video. So let's talk about the first topic right up here, and that's involving Jake McCabe. As today, the Blackhawks announced that Jake McCabe will be missing a significant amount of time, 10 to 12 weeks for the season, as he went under a successful spine surgery. So that's sucks to see because McCabe had a rough season last year with the Hawks. Maybe this last 20 games McCabe started to look good, but now with the fact that there's a new head coach in Luke Richardson, that's going to kind of suck for McCabe right out of the gate for the season because he won't be able to practice on training camp to play under Luke Richardson, and it will be hard to get into the groove of things. Thanks, Drew. And then to follow up with another injury happening, Blackhawk prospect forward Jalen Lupin, I believe I'm pronouncing his name right. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the chat. He had a injury to his left rotator cuff, and it was repaired. He's expected to be out 14 to 18 weeks. What sucks for him, he had a hell of a season last year with the Edmonton Oil Kings last year. I do believe he had in 67 games played. I'm pulling up his stats again. Predictions for which game host's number retirement ceremony will be. I will get into that in a little bit there, Bob. As for Lupin, his numbers were good last year for being a 20-year-old in his fourth year in the WHL. played 66 games played, had 29 goals, 35 assists, 64 points on the season. That Oil King team is a fun team to watch. And if I am correct, Connor Bedard plays there now. Let me check. Yes, I did see the Mrazek mask. I'm actually going to show that in a little bit. No, Bedard plays for Regina Pats. Okay. And then today the Hawks announced the prospect tournament roster. It looks like a solid roster. I'm really happy to see it come out today. And there's a couple players to keep an eye out who can come into this and maybe crack a preseason roster spot. Especially, I'm hinting at it right there with Ethan Dalmastro. Good prospect. He is a heavy hitter, and I really hope we can see Dalmastro prove himself to make it into the training camp roster. Notable players on the prospect tournament roster: Lucas Reichel, and a couple players from this year's draft, and Kevin Korchinski, our first round pick, and at pick number 7. And then Samuel Savoy, who's was also a first round pick this year, or not a first round pick, a second round pick for the Hawks this year. Also have Colton Dock on the roster. And net is a little bit interesting. It's Mitchell Weeks and Jackson Saber. So it's a solid roster. We also had Paul Walensky and Gavin Hayes, who were also drafted in this year's draft. I think seeing how the Hawks have their prospect roster looks, there could be some players who crack the Blackhawks preseason list. It's an interesting amount of players I could see come out of the fact that the Hawks are looking to build from. But let me pull up my other graphic. Hang on. I have a second graphic made to show you the mask of Peter Mrazek. It might take a couple seconds. It's been finicky. Hey, Thomas, how are you? Do you see the Hawks getting any PTOs? And if so, would you like or think who would I like to see? Brian, it's an interesting thing. I don't know if the Hawks will go after any PTOs. Maybe now with Jake McCabe is injured, but I think with the fact that McCabe's injured, that opens up an extra roster spot on the defense. So Ian Mitchell now has an easier chance to making the roster, and it also opens up a spot for another defenseman if they wanted to. Thoughts on Drew Commesso being named captain for Boston U? Rare for a goalie to be a captain. It's good to see Commesso being an Olympian and probably Team USA's most sought after prospect goaltender. It's good to see, and I think it's cool to see a goalie getting the captaincy. In college, you do see a little bit more often than the last time there was a captain in the NHL that was a goalie was actually Roberto Luongo with the Vancouver Canucks. He actually was the captain of that franchise at one point, but decided to give up the C to give it to Hendrik Sedin because he didn't feel like being the captain meant anything with the fact that they were basically having to change up everything that way. So my graphic that was going to show the Peter Mrazek mask wasn't working, so I will just grab it and just show it through my Discord because I did post it the other day on Discord. So let's go to screen share. So, this is the new mask for Peter Mrazek as our starting goaltender this year. So, it's basically a Kevin Lankinen mask. I'm sorry, that's what it is. It's not original for a Blackhawks mask, and frankly, I would say it's quite disappointing. I guess predictions of Chad Yetman returning to the Indy Fuel was correct. Why are you saying that? Did Yetman sign a contract with the Fuel? But for Bob, your question of when do I think they're going to announce which game is going to be the Marian Hossa retirement ceremony night? I actually have a prediction of when, since I looked at the schedule. I have a feeling if the if the Hawks do want to trade Kane or Tays, I think they will want them on the roster for the retirement ceremony. So I have a prediction. I think it's going to be early in the season. I think it could be the game on November 30th. Why? It's a late night start. Banner raising ceremonies typically cause an hour delay to a game. This game is a nationally televised game. It's against the Edmonton Oilers, and it's a Wednesday night. That game's at the United Center starting at 8:30 Central Time, and I have a weird suspicion the Hawks are going to do the banner raising ceremony against the um Oilers at 8 for that start, because the start of a home game should never be 8:30 in Chicago. That's TNT being stupid with forcing teams to start their games later than they should. So that's my prediction. Is it going to be true? Probably not. I hope it is, because I would go to I already am saying it. When they announce tomorrow the Hawks are going to be making an announcement, and they hinted on Instagram last week when they made their tweet last week saying we have an announcement to make on the 14th. And on Instagram, they added that tweet on there in a waving Marian Hossa. So I have a suspicion we're going to find out the banner raising ceremony game tomorrow, and I will have a video made for that because if you see, I already have retired numbers behind me, and those are already set. And the Marian Hossa is getting up. I'm going to make sure I'm going to that game because Marian Hossa is my favorite all-time NHL player, and it makes sense. I even already have a Duncan Keith jersey put up because I already have a feeling maybe tomorrow they also announce that they're going to be hanging the banner for Duncan Keith sometime this season. Have you seen? No, I have not. Brian, if you could send me a link to it, I would appreciate it to see what the mask looks like. Yes, and that will and the Marian Hossa banner raising ceremony, I would be pretty sure that will be part of the promo announcement. So I'm waiting for that game to buy tickets to see what day it's going to be, because if it's a weekend, that's going to be a little bit more difficult for me. But um I'm already saying it. I'm going to that game no matter what. Marian Hossa is my favorite all-time Chicago Blackhawk and favorite all-time hockey player. I have to go to that game. Did No, he has not drive. Fun thing to mention, I do have a couple jerseys in the mail right now that I'm sent off to the Blackhawk store to get customized. Makes me also have to say, are we going to also find out if the reverse retros are going to be getting released in the next few days or so? Because we already know what the Hawks reverse retro was, and it's interesting look. I made a video about it when it got leaked, but I'm already going to get it. I will say that I already have a kind of not official pre-order in because I haven't paid anything, but I do have a I'm on a list to get it. Uh let me I can't open the link that way, Brian. If you can at me on Twitter with it, I would appreciate it. I was thinking it would be November 20th against the Penguins, as he used to play for the I could see against the Penguins, but I really don't think they would do it against the Penguins. I really honestly think the Hawks will just make a smart decision, since the home game being at 8:30 in Chicago on a Wednesday night, that gives them more time to just do the ceremony, and it will help be able to give the ceremony more of the due justice, since it's a nationally televised game. The Pittsburgh game is a weekend. I don't think they will do the banner raising ceremony on a weekend on a Sunday, especially since that's going into the week of Thanksgiving. Let me take a look. Okay, let me pull up Twitter on my computer so I can see it. Oh, it's an Ice Hogs mask. Yeah, I did see this. I saw this a couple of days ago, actually. I couldn't remember whose mask it was. I I like it. Yeah, that's why I think do it on that night, because the ceremony could take at least an hour and a half. You start the ceremony at like 6 o'clock or so. You give time to do the full ceremony, give time for the warm ups and stuff, It makes sense. I hate the fact that the game's at 8:30 in the United Center. That's TNT basically saying screw the East, screw the West, and screw the Central time zone because they force times to start later than they should. It should start at 7:30 as that's a normal start time in the United Center, and it's not going to be because stupid TNT. And also, I would have a feeling for that game you will have um Edzo back. Edzo should be calling that game if it's a TNT broadcast. And then it will work out. You have Edzo in the building for a banner raising ceremony. Edzo meant so much to the Hawks organization. And then the Hawks do a ceremony for one of the greatest two-way forwards in team history. The Kraken new AHL team just announced former NHL enforcer Stu Bickle as a coach in player development. Interesting. So the Firebirds named their coach Stu Bickle. Guys, I won't be live much longer. I just wanted to do the quick topics right here and talk a little bit about stuff you guys are asking. We'll be live for about 10 more minutes. Just a quick live stream, nothing too crazy. I might go live though for the prospect games on Friday because Friday's game is a 7 o'clock start. Sunday game, I could probably go live for that, and at a 1 o'clock start in Chicago. So I might go live and broadcast for those two games. Do a little prospect watch party with you guys. Just training camp start for the training camp should start next week. Players have already started showing up to Chicago to get ready to report to training camp. But training camp should start sometime next week. I can't remember the exact date, but that makes more sense because they tend to do the prospect games first and then go straight into training camp. And then just around the corner, first preseason of the preseason game, and that will be on the 27th. How much you think tickets will be for Hosa's game? I don't know, Bob, but I'm just saying this. I don't care. If they're expensive, I'm still going to the game. I've made sure to go to the Pat Foley final game of his broadcasting career with the Hawks. I made sure to go to that game to be in the building to honor Pat Foley. I'm going to the game for Marian Hossa. I don't care. I even went to the Jonathan T's Silver Stick ceremony. Games that have a lot of meaning, I'm going to try and go to. I couldn't go to the game last year when they brought Nicholas Jarmerson back for a little event, and that was also the return of Duncan Keith to the United Center. But I'm going to go to the Marian Hossa game no matter what. And I'm going to try and get in really nice seats for that game to see the banner go up and everything. Hey, Jack, how are you? Kings gave Nate Thompson a PTO, and Coyotes gave goaltender Chris Gibson a PTO. The Kraken gave Daniel Sprong one, and the Devils gave Thomas Hickey one. Okay. Interesting PTO announcements. Player that I could see out of that list making a roster, probably Daniel Sprong with the Kraken. Maybe Thomas Hickey for the Devils. Give them extra depth. But yeah, I'm already saying it. I'm going to that Marian Hossa night without any issue. I have to. Michael Stone gets a PTO with his former team. Okay. That's one that shocks me. Hell, we could see a PTO get announced also in the next couple of days for the Hawks because they. What makes me like Hossa so much? Just wondering. Well, it's interesting. I always liked Marian Hossa before he came to the Hawks. When he was on the Atlanta Thrashers, I liked his game style and the way he always put 110% on the ice. He was not willing to give up, and he just was that type of player. I loved his play style. It's, in my opinion, it's one of the most underrated play styles in hockey. Him getting recognized for the Hall of Fame was awesome because he was a great two-way forward, had 3 Stanley Cups, 5 Stanley Cup appearances. Marian Hossa, I just always respected. He's one of the most was one of the most respectable players in hockey when he was playing, and he's just a great player. I made a video when they made the announcement that he made the Hall of Fame. I kind of explained a little bit about how much that was awesome to see because he was my favorite all-time hockey player. And I also I have a collection of Marian Hossa jerseys from every team he's played for. I have an Ottawa Senator jersey, an Atlanta Thrasher jersey, a Detroit Red Wing jersey, a Penguin jersey, the Hawks jersey. Which, fun fact, you know what? I should show you because I don't think I've shown you guys yet. I finally did one thing I've been wanting to do to this jersey for a while. I got one of the Stanley Cup final patches put onto it. This is my first ever chain stitched Blackhawk jersey, too. I should mention that. And when I got this, I got it in the 2017 NHL draft. I went to the draft in Chicago in 2017. I asked if they had any chain stitched Hawks jerseys, preferably a Marian Hossa jersey, because he just announced that he will not be able to play anymore. And when that happened, I had to get it because it was the last one in the United Center, and I was like, yeah, I'm buying it. This is my favorite player. It's I want a chain stitch Hawks jersey, and now that I have this jersey, I know I will wear this thing at the game at the banner raising ceremony. It has the 2013 Stanley Cup final patch put onto it. I could have done 2015 because they did wear the red jerseys when they won the cup in 2015, but I went with the 2013 one because I just felt like going with one of the cup patches on this jersey. I didn't do 2010 just because this doesn't have the Reebok uh, vector logo, but otherwise, this is still going to always be my favorite, one of my favorite jerseys to be. Yeah, I agree. I so wish we kept Henry Yokiharu. But yeah, I could do an update video on the Marian Hossa collection because I am in the process of getting a Team Slovakia Hossa jersey. No, Bob, this one's a 2.0. For Indo edges, I only have a couple. I have a I can grab it out actually. It's over here. I have a few Indo edges, not a lot. They're so great quality. But yeah, the Hosa jersey's a 2.0. This is a Indo edge I have, and it's my Nicholas Jarmerson Stadium series. I actually got this when I went up to when I saw the Pat Foley retirement ceremony game. I got that at Gunzo's, and I got it customized through the Blackhawks. Make sure you get a Marian Slovakia jersey, and it's not accidental. Uh, Brian, trust me, I already know what I'm doing for a Marian Slovakia jersey. When I on his jersey, I will show you the type I'm looking into. Any red home Indo edges? Yes, Bob. Oh. Got a Kane Indo edge home. I actually paid like $50 for this thing off of Macari. This is an Indo edge. But yeah, the Marian Hossa one's a 2.0. Make sure, yeah, I already know what I'm doing for a Marian Hossa Slovakia jersey, and I've been working on getting it for a while, and I found the perfect jersey to do it. And it's the one I would prefer to get it in. It's the 2014 Slovakia jersey, as it's a the navy blue one with like the national anthem of Slovakia going around it and the pinstripes. I'll get the A put onto it. You almost got a Jack Skilly jersey. Nice. Yeah, that is true. He was good on the Ice Hogs, not so great for the Hawks. Yeah, didn't they start sell like his game worn jersey on the Ice Hogs website a couple months ago? Speaking of international, Slovakia IIHF jersey is beautiful. Yeah, that one is. It's a very, in my opinion, one of the nicest international jerseys um ever made. Let me find a photo of it so I can show you guys a good picture. But I found one in a good deal. It's currently a blank, and I'm working on probably picking that up pretty soon here because it's a beautiful jersey. I could probably actually show, just share screen it. Hang on. I'll just make do a share screen of it on here. I would have made it into a graphic, but this is where I kind of go in and be able to make the graphics work. I have to use a Google slide and then get it to fully create. But yeah, this is the type of jersey I've been looking for, and I found one for a good deal, which I will make into a Marian Hossa. I do have this Marian Hossa that I would even consider maybe bringing to the to the banner raising ceremony game. His Dukla Trinchin jersey. Bunch of freaking advertisements on this thing, if you ask me, but that's how it is in Europe. I just hate the fact that advertisements are getting put on NHL jerseys now. Do I like the yellow? No. But it's a Dukla Trinchin jersey. I probably would be one of the only people in the United Center wearing this type of Hossa jersey. Yes, I do know Hawkthorne. And when he left, he did help bring a lot of his subscribers over to me too. So over to my channel. So that was awesome of him. He left because he was just fed up that the NHL are putting advertisements on jerseys. That's one thing, and I think he also explained there was a little bit more to it, but he was ticked off about that, and I am too. I'm telling you this. If I'm offered a jersey with an advertisement on it, I honestly might be saying, I would probably say no to them. Which do you find, which do you find some authentic Reebok jerseys? Where do you find some authentic Reebok jerseys for cheap? Well, Bob, now that's a little bit tough. Reebok Authentics have gone up in value in the last couple years because people started to learn they're much better quality than the Adidas jerseys. Um, you could sometimes find them off of Macari for a little bit better deal. Sometimes find them off of um eBay, but that's about it. When I bought my, and I know for sure if they still have them, Gonzo's actually that's where I got that Stadium Series jersey from. They had some authentics in there. They didn't have the made in Canada authentics. They had the endo edges, but for the endo edges, those are great quality for the price you're getting. You're getting a chain stitched Hawks jersey. I get you're getting a chain stitched Hawks jersey through Adidas, but you're getting a much more higher quality in endo versus an Adidas, if you understand where I'm coming from. But you could sometimes find good deals on eBay, sometimes find good deals on Macari. Um, and if you're up in Canada, Kijiji, I heard, is a good option. But that's about it. You can only find them on secondary market anymore. Did the Blackhawks release the jersey ad yet? I hope not, Hawkthorne. They have, from what I've seen, they have not. Go on the Edmonton Oilers. They're not going to have a jersey advertisement, so I'm hoping the Hawks are the same and don't have a jersey advertisement because jersey advertisements are stupid and they don't belong. If anyone from the Chicago Blackhawks are hearing me right now, please, and all power, say hell no and don't put a stupid advertisement on the Hawks jersey. I'm fine if you put on the practice jersey, all you can, that's fine. Just don't put it on a normal Hawks jersey. I that's what I'm have to say. Advertisements don't belong on a historic uniform such as the Chicago Blackhawks. I get it, the stupid Montreal Canadiens yesterday announced theirs. And it looked horrible. A historic franchise like the Canadiens, like the Hawks, like the Red Wings, like the Rangers, and the Bruins and Maple Leafs, they should not have advertising on their jerseys. And Montreal is the first of their original six to do it. The Hawks better not put an advertisement on the jersey. I think the Hawks should get Alex Chase on a PTO. Thoughts? That will be interesting. Brian, I probably would say no to Chase on, but if you get him and he pans out, you sign him to a league minimum deal for 1 year, you could probably move him at the trade deadline. So if you guys see where I'm coming from, no jersey ads should be a thing. That's where I'm at. I get some people like idiots on ESPN are saying, for instance, the manufacturer of the jersey is an advertisement. In my opinion, that's the manufacturer. That doesn't matter as an advertisement or not. That's not a real advertisement. That's who made the jersey. I get the Hawks already have advertisements on their uniform. It's on their helmets. But I hated when they put advertisements on the helmet. At this point, I'm fine with the ad on the helmet because it's no one's buying a freaking helmet. Let's be honest. Who in the right mind is wanting to buy a helmet with an advertisement? No one. No one cares. No one buys the helmets. They buy the jersey. And it should not be a thing. I agree there, Hawkthorne. Should have stayed with NBC. But yeah, there is one thing with the advertisement stuff. It shouldn't be a thing. I have a Blackhawks practice used jersey from Andrew Desjardins. That has the Atletico patch on it. It's a big blue patch on the freaking jersey. It's a advertisement. I actually can grab it right now. Let me show you. My practice used Andrew Desjardins jersey. It's a practice jersey, so do I like seeing an advertisement on the jersey? No, but it's a practice jersey. It doesn't matter. It's a practice jersey. This again, Desjardins on the back, but this looks horrible. Imagine if a big blue patch like this was on a home jersey for the Hawks. Here, I can kind of fold the jersey up and do that. That's what it would look like. Horrible. Don't do it. That's my thing. Just put it on the stupid practice jerseys all they want. That's fine. Not many people buy practice jerseys. The only reason why I bought this practice jersey was the fact people forgot this guy played for us, and it was a good deal. I got it at the last Blackhawk convention there has been in 2019 for $100. So I bought this one. It has blood stains, puck marks, and everything on it. If you can name stuff that's from hockey, it's probably on this jersey. There's blood, pucks, marking. It's an interesting jersey. What do you think, Hawks will do after NBC Sports Chicago contract is over. Hawthorne, I think they'll re-sign a contract with NBC Sports Chicago. That's a good question, Brian. I have no clue. Probably his. It's probably Desjardins' blood. Yeah. We'll never know whose blood is on this jersey. It's probably more than likely Andrew Desjardins' blood because he was a scrapper and he probably got hit in the face by a puck, and that's how he got blood on it. I don't think he did. And by the way, I think this might have been a practice jersey from 2015 during the Cup run, maybe. Can't tell. It doesn't say. But I did get this at the Blackhawk convention, and it is practice used. But let me hang that back up. So, guys, I think it's about time to call a stream. It was a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot more busy on the channel again. As you notice, I haven't made a lot of videos during the off season, frankly, because there hasn't been a lot to talk about. The most times I made a video was during the draft, and since then it hasn't been a lot to talk about because the Hawks really didn't make many signings free agent wise that made sense to make their own video about. And with the season about to get going, we should have I might have a video out tomorrow if they do announce the banner raising ceremony for Marian Hossa. And I want to say thank you for coming to the live stream. I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of topics added on by talking about the jersey ads and stuff like that. And what day will the banner go up for Marian Hossa? And it was a lot of fun. So I want to say thank you for coming to the live stream. Thank you. So if you're watching this stream after the stream is over on YouTube, so thank you for watching the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And most of all, let's go Hawks.